This is Arcadia on the River, and we are a luxury living community. We are known for our awesome amenities that we have here, additional to our luxury style cottages. Be sure to come visit us and meet the Arcadia family. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye guys.
Hello and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Zaria Golston.
And I'm Ryan Baughman, bringing you news from the Georgia College campus all across the Milledgeville community. Coming up on GC360, a further look into the lack of public transportation in Milledgeville, see what city officials have to say about the issue.
And a race to remember and recognize those fighting against cancer. Relay for Life.
Last week, we reported on the lack of public transportation in Milledgeville and Baldwin County. This week, GC360 Saskia Lindsay follows up with a response from public officials.
Milledgeville officials and transportation experts from Georgia College respond to the community's call to action on the lack of public transportation in Milledgeville. Officials say they recognize the problem, but it is hard to fix and it is not their top priority.
I don't think I could honestly say to you, and I don't think anybody in city or county government would honestly say to you, that public transportation is on the front burner.
It's very expensive to implement a fixed route transportation program.
I don't anticipate the community or the state or even the feds having the money right now to be able to create an entire public transportation system for Baldwin County. I just don't see that happening.
Fire Chief Steve Summers explains that there is currently only one form of public transportation in Milledgeville, and that is the Baldwin Transit. The Baldwin Transit costs $2 per person, has limited hours, and must be scheduled 24 hours in advance. Many, including Summers, say this is not enough.
Well, it would be nice to have like a bus system like a lot of your other cities where you have bus stops and scheduled routes.
For the size county that we are, for the number of people that need public transportation, it is not adequate, but it's better than nothing, I think.
Officials say there could be potential solutions to the transportation problem while the county lacks the funds.
There's a move to do a public-private partnership, and a lot of communities are going that route to find the expert to come in and get your program up and running and off the ground and not try to create one from scratch.
Possibly working with some of the apartment complexes around town that have transportation to allow riders who do not live in those complexes to ride those buses. Residents
and officials agree that public transport would help.
It'd help the community get people out that aren't able to get out any other way, with taxi service being a little more expensive and and for handicap accessibility.
You might be able to create a really cool public-private partnership for public transportation that would benefit everybody in the community.
It gives people mobility, and it's mobility to go shopping, it's mobility to health care, to education. And when you don't have a way to get to those key things that you have to do, it just adds a whole nother level to your existence to actually function. When you don't have transportation, it really hinders your basic daily tasks.
So either way, do you think Baldwin County needs to do something? As of now, there are no official plans to provide more public transportation in Milledgeville and Baldwin County. Many residents and officials, however, agree that something should be done. This is Saskia Lindsay, GC360.
This past Friday, Baldwin County held its annual Relay for Life event honoring and memorializing loved ones who have or had been diagnosed with cancer.
Hundreds came to the Baldwin County High School football stadium for the event. Many set up tents to sell food, participate in crafts, games, and more. The purpose? To raise money for the American Cancer Society. Many Georgia College students and faculty also attended. Among them was the GCSU Music Therapy Society, as well as the National Service Sorority Gamma Sigma Sigma. All sorts of people came to support this event, including many children who helped lighten the mood. The Survivors Lap also raised spirits. The first lap of the night was completed by those who had cancer and who have beat it over the years. It is amazing to see how many have overcome the disease and how long they've been free of it. One woman has been free of cancer for over 30 years. Towards the end of the night, all of the stadium lights were dimmed and over 300 luminaria were lit to remember those who have been lost to cancer.
Baldwin County as a whole has raised over $58,000 this year to support the cause.
Since April 13th, the Centers for Disease Control says 53 people in 16 U.S. states have fallen ill with E. coli. The outbreak is believed to have originated from romaine lettuce grown in Yuma, Arizona. Because E. coli symptoms may not appear until many days after ingesting contaminated food, more people are expected to be stricken. Although no one has been diagnosed in Georgia, the CDC says that consumers anywhere in the United States who have store-bought chopped romaine lettuce should not eat it and throw it away. If you do not know if lettuce is romaine, throw it away anyway. The specific farm or distributor of the contaminated lettuce is currently unknown. However, the investigation by the CDC is still pending. Up next, Greek organizations competed head-to-head all weekend long.
The activities were demanding and the competition was fierce. A closer look after the break.
At the Grove, and we are located directly across the street from the Georgia College dorms, which is within walking distance from the campus. We offer 2- and 3-bedroom apartments here. We have 2 resort-style pools, a 24-hour fitness center. So just take a short stroll across the street from Georgia College and come check us out.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
It was an eventful weekend for Greek life here at Georgia College. Going from Thursday evening until Sunday afternoon, students from each sorority and fraternity gathered on courts, fields, and stages to compete against one another. GC360's Isabella Echevarria followed the crowd all weekend to see the competitions.
During Greek weekend, sorority and fraternity members transform into goddesses and gods. But that's only a small part of the fun. The main event is what catches the most attention. Tug is a version of tug of war where fraternities and sororities lay in ruts and strategically work to pull the other team out of the ruts. This sport takes a lot of mental and physical strength. Greek Sing. This year's theme was Broadway. Each sorority and fraternity were paired up to perform to a song of their choice. I think a lot of people are surprised to learn the students who have amazing voices. This time is great for students to showcase their talents. Step. One of the main events and the most exciting, with a combination of historical significance and personal chance, teams put in the hard work to stay on the beat with each other and keep the audience intrigued. It was a busy weekend, but the Greek community has taken another step towards unity on the Georgia College campus. Through friendly competitions, sororities and fraternities have the opportunity to show what they do best, while sharing these experiences with each other. Through adding up the points of each event, looking at GPA and service hours, the overall winner for fraternities were the men of Alpha Tau Omega, and the sororities the women of Zeta Tau Alpha. For GC360, I'm Isabel Echeverria.
While it is typically a well-received event, a petition has been created by the fraternity Pi Kappa Phi calling for a change to key elements of the event. The fraternity is advocating to have the male step competition removed, an event that only the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity on campus participates in. The petition says that it is clear that the male step competition is something that our community overall does not want based on the level of participation in the event since its inception 3 years ago. We spoke to the Director of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Tiffany Bain, who says that removing the events may cause issues in the GCSU community. Bain said, "Step, which dates back to traditional African dance and even African American dance from times of slavery. Greek step came through our MPHC organizations, which are historically African American groups, which men and women are both very present in that. And so to bring it to our majority groups, such as IFC, and restrict it to one gender or not, or one type of organization or not, kind of rubs against the meaning and the historical context of the art form a little bit." Pi Kappa Phi is also pushing for a return to a full week of events rather than an entire weekend. Their petition says that pushing events into a shorter time frame puts too much stress on their organizations and could even be considered dangerous because of the constant physical activity. Tiffany Bain says that pushing it to a full week may negatively affect the students academically. Bain said that as of April 18th, the petition had to close to 230 signatures.
After the break, get ready for an in-studio interview with GC golfer Austin Mancia.
But before that, we'll take a look at the GC softball team. Do they have a chance to win it all at the Peach Belt Conference?
Every student wants housing less than 2 blocks from campus, so join your friends at Prospect. We offer a state-of-the-art pool, study room, fitness center, and coffee bar. Availability is limited, and we offer roommate matching, so call us today. Schedule a tour, come visit, and check out your future home.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back to GC360. I'm Stephen Walters.
And I'm Avery Roach.
And we're here to bring you all you need to know about sports in the Milledgeville community. The Georgia College softball team is trying to make a late season surge to the top spot in the Peach Belt Conference. I had the opportunity to catch up with the team this week after their weekend sweep of Flagler.
The Georgia College softball team is in second place with 6 games left in the regular season. 4 of those games come against the division leader, North Georgia, and the third place team, Columbus State.
You know, we've put ourselves in a good situation where it's up to us. So if we win out, we win it all. If we, you know, whatever happens, whatever the end result will be, completely in our control, and that's great.
The team started the season slow, going 8-6 in their first 14 games, but have gone 23-5 since March 1st.
We've definitely all grown closer together. We've kind of found that like mesh and composure together, so we're learning each other, and that's what's been really good. I think at the beginning of the season we had so many new people, it was kind of hard. We hadn't figured out how to work together, but now we have that, and we have that team chemistry, so it's really great.
Holland recently eclipsed the 200 hit mark for her career at Georgia College and is a catalyst in the lineup. She is currently leading the Peach Belt Conference with a .455 batting average.
So I just tell myself, just go up there and, have the best at bat that I can. If I get a hit, great. If I don't, it's okay. So I know someone else is going to come right back up behind me and do their job.
Hitting behind Holland of late is junior center fielder Caroline Snyder. Snyder is 8th in the conference with a .402 batting average.
Early in the count, I'm thinking more of like, all right, I'm looking only for my pitch, but with 2 strikes, I know that I have to put the ball in play, and so it seems to work out for me a little bit better.
Brodecki said she has seen a solid approach from all of her hitters of late.
I think the biggest thing for them is to understand what they're trying to do when they get up to the plate and keep things simple and not try to do too much.
The playoff push continues this Saturday at noon as the team faces 6th-ranked Augusta University at home. Brodecki said the team is excited about the possibility of earning the top spot.
Hopefully they're just fired up because they did it. They put themselves in this situation, and now we can handle business from here.
We'll keep you up to date on their progress throughout the rest of the season.
The men's golf team competed in the Peach Belt Conference last weekend and took 8th place. Austin Mencia tied for 18th in the event and has been a bright spot for the team all season. Austin is here with us today. Austin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how'd your weekend at the Peach Belt go?
I had a really good time at the tournament. It's probably the most fun trip that we've had all year. I know it's not the way we wanted to finish the year, but there are definitely some positives to take away from it.
Awesome. What was your favorite day from the whole weekend?
Probably Saturday.
What made it so great?
I played a lot better.
All right.
The team overall didn't really play that well, but I really feel like there was a lot of stuff that we did after the run as a team, which made it a lot more fun. So overall it was just a fun trip.
Well, what do you think the main takeaways from the weekend were for you and your team?
I think in a mental state of the team, we were supposed to win to keep on playing and go to regionals. So I think it was kind of cool to kind of feel that pressure. And definitely having that experience helps in future tournaments. So hopefully, we can show these young guys next year, this is for real.
Exactly. Well, how does this experience at Georgia College different from your one from Armstrong State?
It's definitely a lot better and a lot more competitive. We play a lot better fields with a lot better teams. At Armstrong, the team wasn't that great, and I only got to experience half a year because I got hurt my spring semester. So, it was really cool to be able to compete this spring and experience my first conference championship. So, it was a really fun spring.
Well, was there anything else about Coach Garrett's team that drew you to Georgia College?
Yeah, I actually met him my first collegiate event. I actually played with him and, a senior on the team, Thomas Hodges, in my first collegiate round. So, meeting them was really cool, and, they were my first visit when I looked for a place to transfer, and right when I left, I called my dad and I said, can I commit? So, Coach Pat knows what he's doing, and, he's a young coach too, so he's going to be here till I graduate. And, Hodges was a big part of that too, so, he's a really cool guy and really pushed for me to come here.
All right. Well, you frequently led the team in competitions like the Bearcat Classic. What goes into a preparation for a meet like that?
Just like countless hours on the driving range and the putting green on the course. I have my own practice regime that I stick with, and, I try to stay as diligent with that as much as I can and push myself as hard as I can mentally. When I get there, I always have my headphones in. I don't really talk a lot. So, I listen to my favorite songs and just try and get in the best mindset that I can.
Good job. What are the main takeaways, can you put me in your shoes and describe the energy in the air before a crucial putt?
Yeah, a crucial putt, there's a lot of, those during a round. It's either to keep momentum going or just like to try and build some. So, there's a lot of excitement, there are nerves. There's a lot of pressure that, in preparation that goes into reading a putt. So, to watch it go in and see all the preparation and reading, pay off means a lot.
Yeah, I bet it does. Well, in about 2.5 weeks, you'll be traveling to North Carolina for the Super Regional. Where do you think improvement will be seen?
We're not going to Super Regionals.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all right.
Wrong information. Well, we're really happy to have you on the team. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into golf?
I actually got into golf when I was 2 years old. I would ask to go to the putt-putt course every single day. And my dad thought it would be cheaper to just bang balls on the driving range, so my grandmother actually got me a set. And, you know, I started hacking at balls, started taking lessons when I was 3 and competing when I was 4.
Well, what do you think is the most important part of your game, long game or short game?
I would say long game, but if you ask Coach, it's probably my short game. You know, my wedges weren't that great at the beginning of the year, and then, you know, once I got everything dialed in, it really helped, you know, my scores drop a lot.
Well, that's good. Well, last month you were actually named Bobcat Player of the Week, and was that one of the highlights of your season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I had just had I had my top finish of the year at St. Leo, so it was really cool to, you know, have that honor for the week, because I know there's a lot of great athletes here.
Well, what advice would you give anybody who wants to get the Bobcat of the Year award?
I mean, work hard and trust the process. I mean, you know, it sounds like a cliche, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. So, I mean, you know, your hard work's going to pay off at the end of the day.
What are you most looking forward to going forward?
I'm looking forward to summer golf. I'm going to be traveling a lot, and, you know, in the fall, we got a lot more new faces coming in than we do returners. So kind of, you know, getting ready to show them the ropes. You know, we got a lot of young guys coming in.
Oh, yeah. That's really good. Well, we're so happy that you joined us on the show today, and we really appreciate your time. And thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Coming up, the entertainment team has a full report on the happenings at Coachella.
From outfits to performances, you won't want to miss what we have for you next.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Hello everyone and welcome back to GC360. I'm Harley Pope.
And I'm Jarvis Gerald. We're coming up on week 2 of Coachella, and all I can say is that last weekend was going to be hard to beat.
Yes, I totally agree. I'm obsessed with music festivals, and I'm so jealous I didn't get to attend this one. It's okay though, because obviously I watched every single performance on Facebook Live. So here are my personal highlights from weekend 1. The music producer Weathen brought out the overnight sensation, the Yodel Boy, also known as Little Hank, and the crowd went wild. Take a look. Then SZA had an entire bonfire on stage as well as a trampoline. It was a vibe. My all-time favorite duo ever goes by the name of Odessa. And for their main stage Coachella set, they brought out over 100 drones that made different shapes, like their logo, for example. And it was all over the crowd. It was extremely unique, and I couldn't believe it. That was actually Cardi B, and she made her festival debut this year at Coachella. But she did not let that baby bump stop her from giving a killer performance. As crazy as she is, she was not going to let anything stop her from that paycheck and that party. She even brought out 21 Savage, G-Eazy, Chance the Rapper, and Kalani. But maybe now you can check out my Odessa performance. It was really cool. And if not, oh yeah, oh, that's it again, there it is. Justin Bieber showed up on Sunday to perform a surprise worship set at Coachella. And even though he was not even on the lineup, he drew a very large crowd that morning who seemed really happy to hear the gospel music. They were an awesome group of performances, but Jai, what are yours?
Honestly, the top 3 things I loved mostly had to do with the outfits and Beyonce, of course.
Oh my gosh.
She killed all of her performances. And did you guys know that she is the first African-American woman to ever perform at a popular musical festival? And it was a tribute to HBCUs, historical black colleges and universities. Let's not forget, she brought back my faves, Destiny Child.
I know, look at these awesome outfits that she had on.
So much, I love them.
These are her 4 costume changes, right? That first one was so dope with the yellow. Oh, it was so awesome.
Little crop top jacket thing.
Perfect Coachella vibe, right?
I need it. I need that. It's probably out of my budget, but it's okay. Second, Rihanna slayed every single outfit.
Every single one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, she kind of had, a little see-through thing going on, but it's okay because it was still hot for her. Now, me on the other hand, I would not be pulling that off on Georgia College campuses, but it's okay. It's okay. And lastly, The Weeknd. Last year, it was him and Selena's grand debut, but this year, he was hugged up with another one of Justin Bieber's exes, but it wasn't Selena. She was actually spotted cozying up with Chantel Jeffries. Yeah, so The Weeknd was spotted with his arm around her, hugging her, and even leaned her head on his shoulder at one point. Talk about deja vu.
Yeah, Rihanna's outfits were crazy. I cannot believe about Chantel. And Beychella happened, and I was not prepared. I even stayed up till 3 a.m. watching the live performance. It was interesting, but she gave an incredible performance. Check it out if you can. And some other performances from this past weekend that I was super obsessed with happened to occur right here in Milledgeville.
Up next is Adrienne Gardner with Local Corner.
She's going to be telling you all about how to prepare for your finals week.
That's it for entertainment, guys.
Thanks, Harley and Jai. Hello and welcome to Local Corner. I'm Adrienne Gardner. It's crunch time, Bobcats, and I do anything to go ahead and get this semester over with. But there is one more hurdle we all must face: finals. It sounds scary, but it's even scarier when you're not prepared for it. So without further ado, I'm here to bring you these fantastic finals tips that'll help us all. First, call your mom and cry about it. My mother's been my rock for any and every situation, and I mean, sure, as young adults, we only call them for important things like money and groceries and money, but I feel like they like it even more when we actually call them and talk to them and actually tell them that we're failing in life without them. Number 2, talk to your teachers and advisors. Our advisors here at Georgia College are awesome and will be able to give you direct feedback on what you need. And your teachers as well. Go sweet talk them during their office hours to see if they can tell you just what you need to do. I mean, who knows? Maybe they can round your 50 to a 90. Number 3, take a break. Studying can actually be stressful if you allow it to be. So what should you do? Take a break. I mean, I love taking study breaks. I remember last time I took a study break, it lasted for 5 days? I mean, I didn't learn very much and I didn't do very well in the quiz, but I learned something that was even better than how DNA is replicated in the nucleus. I learned that the more breaks, the less aches. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what college is all about. I hope these tips were helpful and everyone can take something from them. What are some other great tips that could help during finals week? We all want to know. Tweet your responses at GC360 News. That's all I have for this week. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks for the update, Adrian. Well, that's it here at GC360.
When we're not on air, we keep you up to date on our social media pages and our website, gc360news.com.
I'm Zaria Golston.
And I'm Ryan Bauman, always available to you, GC360, where news comes full circle. Zaria.